Start on the Ducati. I feel nervous now for Marc Marquez. No wonder he's feeling a bit nervous.
And I've got sweaty palms already.
I have.
Still 10 minutes away from the start of the race. Back to you, Dylan.
Well, guys, also slightly sweaty down here on what has to be the busiest grid I think I've encountered in 5 years. But it's great, though. Amazing atmosphere. And I'm just coming in to give you guys an update on the tyres, because we already know something at the moment. So, looking at the championship contenders, both the same. Dovizioso hard front, soft rear, the exact same as Marc Marquez. Jorge Lorenzo going for the same thing. On the front row, interesting, we have Johan Zarco. He's gone soft front, soft rear, and we have Andrea Iannone, who has actually just switched down. He's now decided to also go with the soft rear and is also on the hard option front.
Many thanks, Dylan. Right up to date as always. The tension is racking up here. It's 13:51 and 26 seconds. The race will be underway in around 9 minutes time.
Dovizioso, we just looked at, is going to have to do something that only one rider previously has done since we started racing here in the Premier Class way back in 1999. That was Marc Marquez's win from 5th in 2014. No other rider in the Premier Class history here at the Ricardo Tormo circuit in Valencia has managed to win off the front row of the grid. And Spanish talent's got a bit of a stranglehold on the top step of the podium here in Valencia as well. Casey Stoner back in 2011, the last time a non-Spanish rider took the spoils here in Valencia, as we get a Mexican wave to kick off proceedings. They're getting in the spirit and the emotion of the occasion.
Well, one man that won't be happy where he's starting from. He's had a brilliant qualifying session. He's had a fantastic season, Paul Espargaro. But Matt, he's going to have to start from pit lane.
Yeah, KTM in many respects victims of their own success. They've made such rapid progress with the RC16 that the engine that they started the year, the Screamer spec, no longer fits in their latest generation chassis. What that means is Paul Espargaro's had to take a 10th engine here on Friday in FP2. He qualified in a brilliant 11th place yesterday, but because he had to take that extra engine in his allocation, KTM only allowed 9 as part of their concessions. He'll start this race from the pit lane.
The atmosphere here, we don't need to tell you what it's like. I'm sure you can hear it wherever you are in the world. If you can go to a motorsport event that creates more tension and excitement than this, tell us where it is, because this is truly phenomenal. 105,000 people jam-packed in, 30 laps to decide the outcome of this World Championship. Dovizioso is doing at this moment. He said goodbye to the team. He's had all the pats on the back. It's down to him and the GP17 Ducati.
Yeah, it's fitting that it's come down to a final round showdown between two of the fastest riders in this MotoGP World Championship this year. All I can say is it's been a tremendous fight between the pair of them, and may the best man win.
Dylan, They leave you for the last time. What is it like in pit lane? We can feel it in here.
It was absolutely, I mean, it was an amazing, it wasn't a tense atmosphere, it was an excited atmosphere. You know, that was what was so nice. So many people there. The good thing is, you know, we don't have a lot of doubts about the tyres. The majority are on that soft option rear, the majority on the hard front. Zarco's gone with the soft front, but as we know with the front, it's more of a feeling thing. With the rears, considering that they're equal, we should have equal drop-offs for all of them. So no, a very exciting race, and if Jack Miller's prediction of a little bit of politics mixed up in there comes true, it should be very exciting.
Yeah, that was brilliant, Jack Miller, wasn't it? Be some fun and games up in front of us. He's dead right there. Did you see that crowd figure? Other sports eat your heart out. 110,000 fans jammed into the Ricardo Tormo circuit here, and they are making the noise of 110,000 fans as well.
It's been the hottest ticket in world sport since we knew we were going to have a final round showdown 2 weeks ago between Marc Marquez and Andrea Dovizioso. A quick recap for you: Andrea Dovizioso must win this 30-lap final round here in Valencia to have a chance of winning the MotoGP World Championship for Ducati for the first time in 10 years. If Dovizioso wins, he then needs to rely on Marc Marquez finishing lower than 11th place. Marc Marquez exactly where he wants to be, at the front of this crucial Valencia Grand Prix, with his teammate protecting him from behind. There was no skirmish with Johann Zarco and Andrea Iannone at the first corner, which he must have feared when he went to Ben Affleck qualifying yesterday. He's in the picture-perfect place right now, Marquez.
He did get a wheelie off the line, didn't he? Oh, quite a wheelie, but he did well. So we end the first lap. Alvaro Bautista has crashed up at turn 6. Marquez leads, Pedrosa second, Zarco third, Iannone.
You know that Pedrosa's not going to attack him. Danny Pedrosa will not attack him. He's doing a brilliant job right now. It's the onus is on Johann Zarco and the rest of the chasing pack to try and find a way through right now on Danny Pedrosa. Danny Pedrosa's brilliant start from 5th place on the grid. It was a dream start for Repsol Honda and a dream start for Marc Marquez as well. Here comes Zarco. Oh. That's ruthless. That's merciless. That's what Johann Zarco does best. He's up in a 2nd place then through the inside of Danny Pedrosa at turn 4.
The plan's not quite as solid as it was a lap ago. That is Zarco at his very best.
Lorenzo up the inside of Andrea Iannone at turn number 6. So Lorenzo up now into 4th place. Dovizioso still circulating in 6th. He of course has got to win this Grand Prix and hope that Marc Marquez finishes lower or 12th or lower to be crowned world champion. It's all to do with Marc Marquez setting the early pace here in Valencia. We're on lap 2 and he leads.
Yeah, he's setting a very hot pace indeed.
Dovizioso's got through an Andrea Iannone. Perfect time to ride on board with the Italian. He passes his compatriot on the factory Suzuki. So Dovizioso then up into 5th.
Former teammate, of course, Andrea Iannone finishing 3rd here last year on the Ducati in his final ride. Up over the rise, 13 down to 14. There have been 2 laps gone. Marquez has got a good pace at the front, but Zarco has got past Pedrosa. That was so important to happen.
So Marc Marquez has just set the fastest lap of the race, a 1:31.920, just a fraction faster than the man chasing him. Johann Zarco in 2nd place. Already Marquez and Pedrosa threatening to make a break here. In fact, last time around, Marquez and Zarco, the only 2 men in the field in the 1:31s. They were half a second faster on that 2nd lap than Danny Pedrosa.
Momentarily we rode with Andrea Dovizioso. He is running in 5th place. The man in front of him is his teammate Jorge Lorenzo. So he made a decent start. The start was amazing. We all expected it was going to be Lorenzo from the 2nd row of the grid. Zarco means business, doesn't it? I'm not being funny. If he had rear mirrors now, Marc Marquez would be going, oh no, please, not Johann Zarco, please.
We know Zarco does not take any prisoners. He doesn't care for reputations. He will of course respect the fact that Marc Marquez is fighting for the MotoGP World Championship. Mika Kallio has crashed at turn number 2 on the factory KTM RC16, but Johann Zarco is riding here for personal glory. He wants his first MotoGP victory and he's hunting down Marc Marquez as they sweep through turn number 11 for the 3rd time of asking.
Through turn 12, that right-hand kink they come. There are the 2 Ducatis of Jorge Lorenzo and Andrea Dovizioso. But what is going to happen at the front? They're coming up over the rise. This would be some place to overtake Marc Marquez. Even Johann Zarco can't do that. They come through 14. We ride with Marquez. Right in his face, the number 5 of Zarco.
So Marquez over the line then to complete lap number 3.
Gets great drive out of that final corner, doesn't he, Marquez? Which, you know, if it did come to a race for the line, is very, very important.
Dovizioso's clicked into gear. He's got into his rhythm very, very fast here, the Italian, at 1:31.777 last time around. That's the fastest lap of the race. Only a tenth quicker, though, than Marc Marquez. And as yet, Dovizioso has not been able to find a way through on his teammate. Jorge Lorenzo is still there in 4th place.
Zarco still chases. There are the two Ducatis. We ride with Marc Marquez. That championship is in his pocket, but you can get your pocket picked very easily indeed, and Zarco has taken the lead. Johan Zarco has silenced the Spanish crowd. Johan Zarco leads here in Valencia.
Yeah, Marc Marquez didn't even put up a fight for it. He does not want to engage with Johan Zarco. Marc Marquez not willing to take the big risk. Why should he? He's on the cusp of winning the MotoGP World Championship here right now, Marc Marquez.
I bet that right hand is twitching to Marc Marquez. He wants to get involved.
The right hand side of his brain saying go for it. The left hand side of his brain saying no, calm down, calm down. The World Championship's at stake right now. Which side of his brain's going to win that battle?
Dovizioso is all over the rear wheel of Jorge Lorenzo.
Aleix Espargaro has crashed out already as well. We've already had 3 fallers. Yeah, Marc Marquez, he didn't even fight for it. He did not even put up a fight.
He knew
for
he was coming, didn't he? And he thought, right, you go through. I've got Danny Pedrosa to protect me from behind. You go off and win your first Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I'm not fussed.
He will not engage. And why would he? It's crazy to take the risk when he knows as well that Andrea Dovizioso, he may well have actually been looking to see where Dovizioso was.
I think he was.
He did that a couple of times in Australia. That was probably actually the reason why he had a good look back. He was trying to see where Andrea Dovizioso was. Now, if he caught a glimpse of Dovizioso, he would have seen him still unable to find a way through on Jorge Lorenzo. This is the battle for 4th and 5th place right now, and Dovizioso has still not been able to unlock that door.
No, he hasn't, and he's trying very, very hard to get past Jorge Lorenzo, but there's no way through at the moment, and you just wonder if Lorenzo will, in the end, have to say, right, let's let him through, let's let him have a go. The big block for these two, though, is Danny Pedrosa.
It's a real battle of attrition out there right now. Scott Redding's the 4th crasher of the day. We've only had 4.5 laps as well. So these hot conditions and the red-hot pace being one at the front is catching a few riders out. Dovizioso has got to find a way through pretty rapidly on Jorge Lorenzo.
You do feel that Jorge Lorenzo's got to help him a little bit.
Turn 1's a rapid old crash there for Scott Redding. Fingers crossed he's okay. He's due to make his factory Aprilia debut in just 2 days' time.
This is the battle for 4th place. We ride with Dovizioso. Has he got through on Jorge Lorenzo? No. I would think he's starting to curse his teammate a little bit.
We could reach out and touch Jorge Lorenzo's exhaust pipe there. That was really, really close. Andrea Iannone still battling in 6th place. Miller's had a great first start to this race. Jack Miller's picked up 5 places, coming through from 12th to 7th. Rossi 8th, Pirro 9th, and Bradley Smith on the KTM inside the top 10. Where's Maverick Vinales? Way down in 15th place. Vinales 1.5 seconds off the pace.
Zarco crosses the line. 25 laps to go here in Valencia. But the news is Marquez is 2nd. Dovizioso is in 5th place.
Marc Marquez now is in dream territory. He doesn't have to take the risk to go away and fight with Johan Zarco, and sitting right on his rear wheel is his teammate Danny Pedrosa, who can hold up slow and disrupt the rhythm of Jorge Lorenzo and Andrea Dovizioso behind him. Gigi Dall'Igna, he knows that first World Championship, it was a mountain to climb coming into this Valencia Grand Prix for Ducati. It gets steeper with every lap that gets clicked off.
Zarco leads away, chasing that first ever MotoGP win. He won here last year in Moto2. He's had 2 podium finishes in his rookie season. Here are the 2 Ducatis still running together. It's a hard call, this one, isn't it? But so far, Lorenzo's given absolutely no slack to Dovizioso whatsoever, has he? And you know, Dovizioso perhaps feels that they're running at the pace they can run at, and they can't run any hotter. But he really does want to get past Jorge Lorenzo, perhaps just have a little nibble if he can at Danny Pedrosa.
Well, team orders and politics, which we've heard all about in the build-up to this final race, they will only come into play if something happens to Marc Marquez right now, because Lorenzo and Dovizioso can see Marc Marquez in 2nd place. So at the moment, if Jorge Lorenzo just moved alongside and let Dovizioso through to 4th place, it's all immaterial, it's irrelevant.
Yeah.
Marquez will still be the world champion. So right now, Jorge Lorenzo, quite rightly, trying to run his own race. He still wants to win this Grand Prix for the 3rd successive year here in Valencia.
Perhaps he feels they can make, as a pair, some impression on a Danny Pedrosa and then start working on that. Who was that running
That was Iannone out wide. He was well wide. Got in too hot at the first corner. Andrea Iannone's big pre-race concern was. He knew he was going to have a strong start and go gung-ho in those first laps. The problem, or the major concern for Andrea Iannone was the last 7 or 8 laps. We do know that the Suzuki can be very aggressive on its tyres. It can abuse its tyres faster than some of its rivals. So Andrea Iannone potentially already maybe running out of a little bit of a grip here.
It's absolutely perfect for Marquez. He runs behind Zarco. He knows he's setting a good hard pace at the front and he's been protected from behind. It's the ideal scenario.
It is dream territory because he doesn't have to take risks to lunge up the inside of Giant Zarco. He can see what Zarco's doing. He can work out where the Frenchman's strengths and weaknesses are if he does want to attack and win the World Championship from the top 7 of the podium, which we know he would love to do. And he knows that
his elbow out in qualifying. If you saw that particular footage, it was unbelievable. He should have gone down, he didn't go down, and now Marquez is chasing Valentino Rossi. Rossi limits the damage that Lorenzo is inflicting at this point.
In terms of the points, Rossi's wide.
Oh!
Rossi's wide, but he holds it.
He does indeed.
I thought the Hondas would be off, and we'd be talking about Rossi versus Lorenzo.
That was, of course, the smart money. We're through turn 12. We're on to turn 13.
Thank you.
On to turn 13 now.
Lorenzo's closing in on Pedrosa.
Pedrosa. I wonder where Danny sits in all of this.
Danny would just like to win a couple more.
Yeah, his first pole for some time, over a year for a moment. Let's look down on what's going on at the moment. Dovizioso still in 5th place. Crutchlow is still 6th. Bradley Smith up to 7th. That's a good ride from Bradley at the moment. His qualifying his qualifying went better than his free practice. Oh, Valentino out wide, and Marc Marquez gets underneath him. Now it's a straight shootout down towards turn 1. These two are absolutely at it, aren't they? Off track and on.
Honda does not blast past.
Oh, yes, it does.
Does now.
On the brakes. Marquez, did he make the apex? Valentino again, Marc Marquez, this is personal. This is a real personal fight.
Valentino thinks he's been interfered with deliberately there. That's what that gesture was about.
This is proper racing, if you ask me, Julian.
I agree with you.
I don't think it's got anything to do other than the fact there's two top men, egos and performances fighting around this Sepang racetrack. And all the time, Valentino's lead in the championship is being whittled away by Jorge Lorenzo out front. Underneath, that's 2 lines you can get through there quite neatly. It's when they touch, it's the problem.
And still 0.6 in the first 2.
Valentino, this will now tidy up a little bit as these two take stock of what's going on around them. Up out of
you know, during the race, I was always trying to be calm, try to control all the situation. But suddenly I say, okay, now it's time to push because I felt really good. But in turn 1, honestly, I lost the concentration on the brake point. I braked too late. That's crazy. I braked too late and, you know, Marquez style until the end.
Congratulations, Mike. Well done.
Very much. And I want to congratulate Dobby, all Ducati staff, because they did amazing and the fair play was there. So really, really happy.
Thank you very much, Mark.
Yes, I really thought I can win the race, and I asked the team just to don't show which one is behind me. I just want to keep a clear mind, and I thought Marquez was behind, but in the end it was Pedrosa. And when he overtook me on the first corner of the last lap, he has been clever because he.
You did that, he couldn't catch you again.
Well, it was a very difficult race because I wasn't feeling so comfortable on the front. I was struggling with the front grip all the race, and I didn't find the perfect.
Wah, ndot kan nak ramean tuh. Nak jemaah. Dedek jemaah.
Wajar wah sao aleng kesen tu
Dedek kelelek
tu malah kelesa. Aleng wah mani macam saya now Amrena sini Adriano and Bebeto and Casano. Francesco Totti and Balasao.
Sekedik
Naam. Ana bi Hairil bi ana fiatin. You Anna suampe? Okay.
Wala.
Good.
Mai, manu yang ngeremang-ngeremang apapun. Aduh.
Berantem berdarah.
Jangan nanti kamera nih.
Predator,
Terus.
lele.
Terus.
Burung keleleng.
Terus.
Kletok.
Terus.
Burung kelelek, burung kletok.
Terus,
Aku
wah, apa
menang
ini?
berenam, mantap kali.
Terus.
Mantap nih, enak kali.
Wah, aneh lalu tuh.
Menang
Kamu yang. Ini akan ngerokok, malah pojok ngerokok. Ini kali nih, ini tuh deket kan tak ya.
Oh, nano deh. Dari harapan tuh.
Ah. Bareng nih, Ih, kan sakit. Ngaleh.